Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on AILET 2023 application form filling. So, today I'll help you understand how to fill the application for AILET 2023. What are the requirements before you start filling the application form? I hope all of you are aware that in a very surprising move, which is very similar to CLAC, NLU Delhi has preponed the AILT examination by exactly 5 months. And the exam is now scheduled on 11th of December 2022 itself, which means instead of the usual time frame, which used to be the first Sunday of May, the exam will now be held on the second Sunday of December, but a year before in that sense. It's quite debatable because it will, if you're in class 12th right now, then you might be appearing for AILT and CLAT along with your pre-board, the first pre-board examinations, which will be conducted by the schools. And most of the boards examinations are likely to start mid of February this year, including CBSE. I'm sure schools will definitely be starting their pre-boards. Anyways, so that will be a concern, but at the end of the day, you do realize that this is equally important and you'll have to appear for the entrance examination. So let's go ahead and understand step by step what are the basic requirements and how do you go and fill the form. So before I go ahead and help you understand how you are going to fill this form, here are a few things I would like to share with you guys. So let's look at the seat matrix first. What exactly is the intake this year? So basically, they have not made any changes. So for if you look at the reservation policies, there is a horizontal reservation available for students belonging to PWD category, which means across every category except for the ST category, there are certain seats reserved for students coming from the PWD category. So a total of 104 seats will go for the categories, and 6 seats will be earmarked for the people with PWD category. And beyond this, there are some supernumerary seats as well. Whereas you must also remember the fact that 30% of the seats in each of the categories will remain for the female candidates, which means out of the 47 for the general category, 30% of the seats will be filled by female candidates. Similarly, in the NC-OBC category, out of 23, 30% of the seats will be filled by students who are female, basically. So they have kept that reservation very similar to last year. Nothing changes over here. If you look at the supernumerary seats, there are 10 seats for foreign nationals and OCI or PIO, but there are 3 seats reserved for students from the Kashmir background. So for Kashmiri migrants, there is 1 seat. And if somebody is a resident of Jammu and Kashmir, somebody who is staying in Jammu and Kashmir, 2 seats are reserved for them. Now, when it comes to the OCI, overseas citizens of India, or a person of Indian origin, there are 5 seats reserved for them, and they have a choice. They can apply as an Indian national or they can apply as a foreign national. In case they apply as a foreign national, the rules will be different. They don't need to appear for the exam, but otherwise they'll have to appear for the exam. Now, even before you even before you start filling the application form, there are certain requirements over here, so that you need to understand. Now, there are few things which you have to be prepared with. Now, first is photograph, the size of which is should not be more than 1 MB. और यहाँ पे बिल्कुल ध्यान रखना है, the face must cover 75% of the photograph. So stylish photograph nahi chalega. You have to have a photograph where your face is exactly 75% to 80%. And there are only 3 formats allowed. You can have your photograph scanned either in the JPEG format, JPG format, or a PNG format. But please do remember that you have to keep 2 identical copies of the photograph, one of which will be pasted on the admit card and the other would be required during the admissions. So if you clear AILT examination and you are offered admission, then the similar photograph would be required over there as well. Now, for the signature, you have to first create a box on a white paper, 6 centimeter by 3 centimeter, and using a blue ballpoint pen or a black, preferably black actually, because the image is quite clear. So use a black ballpoint pen to have your signature and then scan it, but the size should not be more than 1 MB and the format remain the same. No documents are required for uploading during the application process unless you are from the BPL category, or in case you are a PWD category student, then only you'll be required to upload the certificate during the application process itself. तो अभी जब आप application fill करोगे, आपको तभी डॉक्यूमेंट्स के लिए पूछा जाएगा अपलोड करने के लिए इन द केस वेयर यू बिलोंग टू अ बीपीएल कैटेगरी, अदरवाइज आप पीडब्ल्यूडी कैटेगरी से हो. मैक्सिमम साइज जो अलाउड है पीडीएफ अपलोड करने का वो 2 MB है. यहाँ पे पीडीएफ अपलोड होगा. During the time of the admission, the other requirements will be there. You have to present your category certificate, you have to give your last character certificate, and definitely your mark sheets of class 10th and 12th. So, in case the 12th results will not be available at that point of time, the university will take a suitable call. So, don't worry. Even if you're appearing for the board examinations in the month of February, March, you will be eligible to write this examination. So those were the basic requirements. फोटोग्राफ रेडी होना चाहिए, सिग्नेचर रेडी होना चाहिए, और अगर आप बीपीएल या पीडब्ल्यूडी कैटेगरी सिलेक्ट करते हो फॉर्म में, यू बिलोंग टू दोस कैटेगरीज, तो आपको सर्टिफिकेट्स भी अपलोड करने पड़ेंगे. नाउ द वेरी फर्स्ट प्रोसेस is to register yourself. So the moment you go to the National Law University Delhi.in website, you will see this form over there. First, you'll click on this register tab, and then you'll be taken to a new page wherein you'll have to fill in your mobile number and your email. So you have to provide your mobile number and email ID, and then you click on this register button over there. You'll receive an SMS on your mobile, the number which you have provided. आपको उस पे एक SMS आएगा जिसमें आपका registration number होगा and the password will be given to you. Now, once you have got that password, then it will prompt you the moment you log in. Then you have to log in for the first time. जैसे ही आपका application number आएगा, आप वो prompt करेगा उसको fill करते ही to create a new password. So the password which you'll get from NLU Delhi in SMS would be in numbers, that would be numericals. Now you have to create a very strong password for yourself, and then you click on the change password button. Once you have done that, your basic registration process is over. तुम्हारा registration complete हो जाएगा. Now you'll start filling the form. So for the undergraduate program, the 5-year law program, you have to click on this checkbox, which is BA LLB honors, and then you'll finally click apply over here. So the 5-year undergraduate program offered at NLU Delhi is basically integrated BA LLB. So you click on that and click on apply. Then your application actually starts. So the first step is to fill in your personal details, which starts with your name. पहले अपना नाम fill करना होगा यहाँ पे, which should be exactly as your class 10th certificate. तो यहाँ पे कोई भी issue नहीं है. जो तुम्हारा क्लास 10th का सर्टिफिकेट पे जिस तरीके से नाम लिखा हुआ है वो यहाँ पे आप सबमिट करोगे, टाइप करोगे. फिर अपना डेट ऑफ बर्थ ड्रॉप डाउन से डेट, मंथ और ईयर सेलेक्ट करके अपना डेट ऑफ बर्थ फिर करोगे. और जेंडर में आपको 3 ऑप्शन आएंगे, मेल, फीमेल एंड ट्रांसजेंडर. whichever applies, you select accordingly. Your mobile number and email ID will come pre-filled automatically, क्योंकि those you filled during the time of the registration. तो जो मोबाइल नंबर है और वो ईमेल आईडी है वो ऑटोमेटिकली फिल होकर के आएगा. You can change your email ID, but you cannot change your mobile number. आप email ID फिर भी change कर सकते हो, mobile number you cannot change. Religion you have to type in, so whether you belong to the Hindu religion, you are a Muslim, or you are a Sikh, or you are a Jain, you have to type that over here. So यहाँ पे religion आपको type करना पड़ेगा. From the drop down, you have to select the nationality, Indian national or a foreign national, and then you select your category. So under the category, you will have different options. You will have general, you will have economically weaker section, EWS, seats reserved है वहाँ पे, OBC, other backward classes, but only if you can claim the reservation only if you are from the non-creamy layer. and then scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Now, as far as general economically weaker section and OBC category are concerned, if you select any of those three, then there will be no separate question appearing up. But the moment you select SC or ST, whichever category you belong to, आप जब उसको select करोगे वहां पे, then you will see suddenly a question comes as a drop down which asks you, do you belong to the BPL category? Now, if you select yes over here, then you will have to upload your BPL category certificate right now itself during the process. So आपको यहीं पे वो अपलोड करना पड़ेगा नीचे जा करके जब फाइनली आप फॉर्म सबमिट कर रहे हो. If you select no, then there will be no requirement if you're not part of the BPL category. Now, for every category, there are certain questions which are mandatory. One is, are you a PWD candidate? So that question will be for every category. If you select yes, then you have to upload a certificate, and you'll have to also mention whether you need a scribe or not, somebody who will be assisting you at the examination. The normal rule when it comes to scribe is, the person who is going as a scribe should be less qualified than you, which means आपके साथ जो भी scribe बन के जाएगा उसकी क्वालिफिकेशन आपसे कम होनी चाहिए, मतलब वो क्लास 11th या उससे बिलो क्लासेस का स्टूडेंट होना चाहिए. नॉर्मल रूल है. And then you have to submit you have to upload your PWD category certificate in a PDF format. तो ये दो सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं, बीपीएल में अपलोड करना है और पीडब्ल्यूडी में अपलोड करना है. Then the form will ask you whether you are a Kashmiri migrant candidate because there are supernumerary seats, or are you a Jammu Kashmir resident. So दो seats यहाँ पे reserved हैं, एक seat यहाँ पे अलग से रखा गया है. So as the case may be, yes or no, you have to fill that. There is one single form, पेज चेंज नहीं होगा like CLAT. एक single form है, नीचे की तरफ बढ़ता चला जाएगा. So once you have filled all this, then comes your center choice details. कहां पर जाके आप एग्जाम लिखना चाहते हो. So there are close to 19 cities where examination centers will be created. ऑफलाइन पेपर है, पेन एंड पेपर बेस्ड पेपर है. तो आपको डिफरेंट सिटीज, अगर आपका सिटी नहीं है तो आपको डिफरेंट सिटीज सेलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. द रूल रिमेन सेम. जो सिटी, अगर वो सिटी है जिसमें सेंटर है और यू स्टे इन द सेम सिटी, देन ऑब्वियसली दैट शुड बी द फर्स्ट चॉइस, देन द नियरेस्ट सिटी एंड देन द नियरेस्ट सिटी. सो यू हैव टू गिव 3 ऑप्शंस. 1 यहाँ पे जो आप देना चाहते हो, 2 यहाँ पे, 3 यहाँ पे. द कंडीशंस दे हैव पुट इन, normally होने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. The conditions they have put in that if in any particular city has less than 100 candidates, then that city will not be having a center. Instead, second या third choice में से आपको allot किया जाएगा. But generally it doesn't happen because anyways NLU Delhi, unlike CLAT, has very limited centers. 18 या 19 cities में ही centers होते हैं, तो आप इसको appropriately fill करोगे. And then comes your communication details, contact details. So you give in your address over here, you type your address, country भी आप type करोगे India, and from the drop down you'll select the state. So यहाँ पे आप drop down से select करोगे state को. District आपको type करना है यहाँ पे, so you'll have to type the district, name of the district, then city you have to type, and pin code you have to type. Now the question here is your permanent address also same as your current address? Remember, both can be different. Permanent address मेरा ancestral place हो सकता है, current address जहां पे मैं रहता हूं. But if both of them are same, then you simply click on this check box. In that case, you will not be required to fill all this. But in case you don't select this checkbox, if both of your addresses are different, then you'll have to type your permanent address similar to what you did for the current address. But if you select this checkbox, जैसे ही आप इसको select करते हो कि दोनों address same है, तो नीचे का option हट जाता है, आपको वहां से consider हो जाता है. Then comes your family details. आपको अपने पेरेंट्स के डिटेल, उनका नाम, उनका occupation, whether they are serving, whether they are retired, mobile number of your father, the annual income, whatever he earns, the annual income, his email ID, and his office address is mandatory. Similarly, for your mother, in that case, so name, occupation, your mobile number. All this has to be typed. Email ID, the income, and the office address. All this has to be typed. Once you have completed the family details, comes your academic qualification. यहाँ पे आप जिस स्कूल से आपने 10th कंप्लीट किया था, उस स्कूल या जूनियर कॉलेज, whatever the case would be, you will fill that, type that. You will type the name of the board, CBSC, ICSC, Maharashtra, UP State Board, whatever the name of your board is, from where you completed your class 10th, you will type that. Then you select the year of passing. Of course, so in most of you, in case of most of you, this would be automatically 2021. आपने 10th लिखा होगा, unless you have taken a drop or you are retaking the examination. For most of you, 2021 for class 10. Then you have to select what is the grading system. Did you get your marks in terms of percentage or you get your marks in terms of grade? CGPA मिला था या percentage मिला था? वो drop down से आप यहाँ select करोगे. Maximum marks. The number of papers has to be calculated. So अगर 5 पेपर है, 100 marks per paper है, तो 500 होगा. 6 पेपर से आपने बोर्ड एग्जाम्स दिए थे क्लास 10th के, तो आप 600 सेलेक्ट करोगे. Whatever marks you scored, यहाँ पे आप डालोगे, and finally you will type the percentage or the CGPA as applicable. You have to fill that in actual. Don't go for best of 5, best of 4, or best of 3. Please understand, you have to give all of it actually. So if you chose to write the board examination with 6 paper, then automatically it becomes 600 if the maximum marks for each of these subjects were 100. And then whatever you scored, convert that into percentage or CGPA, but then you टाइप दैट ओवर हियर. वो चीज टाइप करोगे जो आपको बोर्ड नॉर्म्स में थे. तो अगर सीजीपीए था तो सीजीपीए टाइप करोगे, अगर परसेंटेज था तो ऑटोमेटिकली परसेंटेज में कन्वर्ट करके टाइप करोगे. Then comes your class 12 detail. Now here again you type the name of the school or the college, the board, which year you have passed class 12. So as I said, as most of you will be appearing for the board examinations in 2023, you will select appearing in this case. यहाँ पे आप appearing करोगे, percentage, CGPA, ऑटोमेटिकली जैसी आप appearing करोगे, ये सब भरने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, ये सारी चीजें हट जाएंगी. You'll be selecting your stream from the drop down. So process is very simple, and finally you come to the upload of certificates. So for general category student, for a student belonging to EWS category or a student belonging to OBC non-creamy layer, no documents are to be uploaded. Even in case of SC and ST category, no documents are to be uploaded unless you belong to BPL category or you come from PWD category. So in case you select yes against the questions which ask about BPL or PWD, then only the documents would be required. Otherwise, you have to upload your photograph. Once again, colored photograph in a white background, with a white background. And the size permissible is 1 MB only. Signature scanned in a box on a white paper, 6 by 3 centimeter, black ballpoint pen preferably. Scan that signature and upload it over here in the format given. And finally, you declare that whatever information you are providing is to the best of your knowledge. You are not hiding anything, or you have not given any wrong information over here. You can choose to submit the form directly, or you can save that as a draft, and maybe another day you want to come back, have a relook, preview the form, and then finally submit. एक चीज का ध्यान रखना, once you submit the form and make the payment, you cannot make any changes. But if you only submit the form and you realize that there is certain mistake, you can delete that and you can reapply. But this will be applicable only if you have not made the payment for the form. तो जब तक पेमेंट नहीं करोगे तब तक आप एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म डिलीट करके दोबारा भर सकते हो, रेक्टिफाई कर सकते हो. फाइनली इस तरीके से you will be allotted an application number, your program, all this will be visible. The moment you choose to make the final submission, then it will take you to the payment page. Otherwise, आप delete करके दोबारा भर सकते हो. But there are certain conditions over here. In case you are from BPL category and you select yes over there, under the category SC or ST, this question appears, you will not be able to delete the application once submitted. तो एक बार अगर आप BPL category से हो and you select yes to that question, whether you belong to that category, and then in that case, once you have submitted the form, you cannot make any changes. That form will be considered final. You will be only allowed to make the payment. So that's how simple the application process of AILET is. Remember, the last date to apply is 15th of November. The admit cards will be issued on 22nd of November, and the exam is scheduled on 11th of December from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So that's the timing, a week before the CLAT examination itself. Surprise move, but that's how it is. That's the real picture. That's the reality. 15 नवंबर तक टाइम है, 2 महीने से ऊपर टाइम है, कोई जल्दबाजी नहीं है. My suggestion would be, take a couple of days, do it slowly, and finally submit the form. Don't make any mistakes over here. Don't make any mistakes over here. Okay? The instructions are also given on the website, which is specifically designed for the application, and that is National Law University Delhi. That's the specific website. You don't have any action happening on the nludelhi.ac.in. So this is where all the action is happening. National Law University Delhi.in. This is where the applications and every action will happen. The admit cards, login, everything over here itself. So that's how simple it is. Still take a couple of days. Easy form aram se baro. Don't make any mistakes. The forms cost you around 3,000 rupees. Very, very, very hard-earned money of your parents. तो बिल्कुल आराम से, कोई गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए. Okay, so that was all about the application process of NLU Delhi. I hope you have filled the CLAT form by now. If not, then you should definitely go ahead and fill the application form. While the last date is 13th of November, don't keep it for the last moment. CLAT is a little bit complicated, but usko dhyan rakhna. 47 seats सिर्फ general category students के लिए. So that's a question which has come up in the comment box. No, it's also, this 47 also includes the horizontally reserved seats for the female candidates. मतलब इसमें से, इस 47 में से भी जो 30% seats है वो female students के लिए reserved रहेंगी. Horizontal reservation is 30% for female students across all the categories after putting away the PWD category seats in all the categories. Okay. NLU Delhi placements is quite good. Their median salary, in fact, I remember, is more than 18 lakhs. So placement-wise, one of the best institutions in the country. Small batch size and very much focused on placement. So you don't have to worry about that that at all. आइलेट इजी तो है पर मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है, इतना कंपटीशन है. इफ यू लुक एट क्लैट, आई एम श्योर यू आर कंपेयरिंग विद दैट, बट आप ये भी ध्यान में रखो कि क्लैट में सारे एनएलयूज एक साथ आते हैं, इसलिए 3000 सीट्स दिखती हैं. एवरेज उनका भी यही है, क्लोज टू 120, 130. Any reservation for Delhi students? No, there is no reservation for Delhi students. But for those who belong to the non-creamy layer of OBC, please remember your category certificate must be in the central list. मतलब आपका जो कास्ट है वो सेंट्रल लिस्ट में होना चाहिए, या आपका कास्ट दिल्ली के लिस्ट में होना चाहिए, तभी आपको कंसीडर किया जाएगा फॉर ओबीसी नॉन क्रीमी लेयर सीट्स. यू कैन अवेल द बेनिफिट ऑफ रिजर्वेशन ओनली इफ योर कास्ट फॉल्स अंडर द सेंट्रल लिस्ट और अंडर द दिल्ली लिस्ट. नथिंग लाइक दैट फॉर द SC/ST कैंडिडेट्स. ओबीसी और ईडब्ल्यूएस कैटेगरी की जो सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं वो 1 अप्रैल 2022 के बाद इशू होनी चाहिए. तो पुराने सर्टिफिकेट्स नहीं चलेंगे. योर सर्टिफिकेट्स, इन केस यू बिलोंग टू नॉन क्रीमी लेयर ओबीसी कैटेगरी और इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन कैटेगरी, रिमेंबर योर सर्टिफिकेट मस्ट हैव बीन इशूड ऑन और आफ्टर 1 April 2022. Is total seats 120? Not exactly. The total seats is 110. There are 13 supernumerary seats, one for Kashmiri migrant, two for resident of Jammu and Kashmir, and five for foreign nationals, five for OCI PIO. It's close to 3,000 Prachi, 3,050 rupees. But for those students who are from BPL category, there is no payment to be made. Your form application process is free of cost. Okay, so guys, that's how you are going to fill the NLU Delhi application form. And that would be all for today's session. Best of luck to each one of you. Put yourself in top gears now. And I'm sure each one of you are going to have success in the examination. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.